The story of the Statue of Liberty begins a long time ago. It started not in America, but across the ocean in France. A man named Edouard de la Boulaye had a big idea. He was a French professor who admired the United States. He thought America was a special place because of its freedom and democracy. La Boulaye believed that the friendship between France and the United States was very important. After all, France had helped America during its fight for independence. He wanted to celebrate this friendship and the 100th birthday of the United States. La Boulaye shared his idea with his friends at a dinner party in 1865. What if France gave a giant monument to the United States? It would be a gift to honor their shared love of liberty. Everyone at the party thought this was a wonderful idea. A young sculptor named Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi was there. He was very excited by the thought of creating such a grand statue. The project was huge, but Bartholdi was ready for the challenge. He imagined a colossal woman holding a torch high in the sky, a beacon of freedom for the entire world to see. Bartholdi traveled to America to find the perfect spot for the statue. When his ship sailed into New York Harbor, he knew he had found it. He saw a small island called Bedloe's Island. It was the perfect gateway. Every ship that came to America would have to pass by it. He imagined his statue standing there, welcoming people to a new land of opportunity. The location was not just a piece of land, it was a stage. It would be the first thing people saw when they arrived, a powerful first impression of the American dream. The plan was a team effort between the two countries. France would pay for and build the statue itself. The United States would pay for and build the pedestal, the giant base the statue would stand on. This showed the strong bond between the two nations. La Boulaye and Bartholdi started raising money in France. They held parties, lotteries, and events to get people excited. It was a project for the people, built by the people. They wanted everyone to feel like they were a part of this amazing gift of friendship and freedom. Creating a statue so large was a huge challenge. Bartholdi knew he could not make it out of solid stone because it would be too heavy. He decided to use thin sheets of copper. The copper would be strong, but light enough to work with. He made a small model first. Then, he and his team built bigger and bigger versions. They hammered the copper sheets into shape using large wooden molds. This process was called repoussé. It was like creating a giant metal puzzle, with each piece carefully crafted to fit perfectly with the next. But how would the thin copper skin stand up to strong winds and weather? Bartholdi needed a brilliant engineer. He asked Gustave Eiffel for help. Does that name sound familiar? Eiffel would later design the famous Eiffel Tower in Paris. For the Statue of Liberty, he designed a strong but flexible iron skeleton. This internal frame would act like a backbone, supporting the entire copper structure. The copper skin was not directly attached to the iron. Instead, special metal clips allowed the skin to move slightly so it wouldn't crack in the wind or with temperature changes. Back in the United States, there was a problem. Raising money for the pedestal was going very slowly. The project was in danger of failing. Then, a newspaper publisher named Joseph Pulitzer stepped in to help. Pulitzer owned the New York World newspaper. He started a campaign to raise the money. He promised to print the name of every single person who donated, no matter how small the amount. He wrote powerful articles, asking the American people to help pay for this wonderful gift. He wanted everyone, rich or poor, to contribute. Pulitzer's plan worked better than anyone could have imagined. Donations started pouring in from all over the country. School children sent in their pennies. Families sent in their dimes and quarters. More than 120,000 people donated, and most gave less than $1. It was a true crowdfunding effort, long before the internet existed. Thanks to the generosity of ordinary Americans, enough money was finally raised to build the huge pedestal. The American people had shown that they truly wanted this statue to be a part of their nation. While Americans were raising money, workers in Paris were busy building the statue. It was constructed in many large pieces. The giant head, the arm holding the torch, and the body were all assembled in a workshop. People in Paris could see the statue growing taller and taller over the city's rooftops. For a while, the finished head and torch were even put on display to encourage more donations and show people the amazing progress. It was a popular attraction, giving everyone a sneak peek of the incredible monument that was soon to cross the sea. Once the entire statue was finished and assembled in Paris in 1884, it was time for the next big step. the statue had to be taken apart again for its long journey across the Atlantic Ocean. Each piece was carefully numbered and packed into a crate. There were 214 crates in total. Imagine a giant puzzle being put into hundreds of boxes. The French naval ship Eiffel was chosen for the important task. In 1885, the ship, loaded with the precious cargo, set sail for America. The journey was long, and the seas were sometimes rough, but the crates arrived safely in New York Harbor. When the Eiffel arrived, New York City celebrated with great excitement, but there was still work to do. The pedestal wasn't quite finished yet. Once it was ready, the difficult job of reassembling the statue began. Workers carefully pieced together the iron skeleton on top of the pedestal. Then, they attached the copper skin, piece by piece. It was like watching a giant come to life. Slowly but surely, the familiar figure of Lady Liberty, as she came to be called, rose high above the harbor, overlooking the city. Finally, on October 28, 1886, the day of the dedication arrived. It was a huge celebration. A massive parade marched through the streets of New York City. President Grover Cleveland gave a speech to officially accept the gift from France. Despite the rainy weather, thousands of people gathered in boats all around the island to watch the ceremony. When Bartholdi pulled the rope to unveil the statue's face, the crowd cheered loudly. The Statue of Liberty was officially home. A dream that began in France was now a reality in America. From the very beginning, the Statue of Liberty was more than just a statue. It was a powerful symbol. Its official name is Liberty Enlightening the World. The torch she holds high represents enlightenment and progress, lighting the way to freedom. In her other hand, she holds a tablet with the date July 4th, 1776, written on it. This is the date of America's Declaration of Independence. At her feet are broken chains, which represent the end of tyranny and oppression. Every part of the statue was designed to send a message of liberty. For millions of immigrants who traveled to America by ship in the late 1800s and early 1900s, the Statue of Liberty was the first thing they saw. After a long and difficult journey across the ocean, the sight of her was a moment they would never forget. She was a sign that they had finally reached a new land, a place of hope and opportunity. For them, she was a promise of a better life, a welcome to a country where they could be free. She became the unofficial mother of exiles, a comforting presence for those starting a new chapter. Over the years, the statue's meaning has continued to grow. She has stood as a symbol of American ideals during times of war and peace. She represents the friendship between nations and the power of people working together to achieve a great goal. The green color of the statue, which happened over time as the copper reacted with the air, is now as iconic as the statue itself. She has been featured in countless movies, books, and photographs, becoming one of the most recognizable landmarks in the entire world. Today, more than 135 years after she was dedicated, the Statue of Liberty still stands tall in New York Harbor. She reminds us of the long journey of freedom and the importance of welcoming people from all over the world. The statue is a testament to a big idea that started at a dinner party in France and became a reality through the hard work and generosity of thousands of people. She is a lasting symbol of hope, freedom, and the enduring friendship between France and the United States, enlightening the world with her torch.